Mackenzie, and this is Millie. And today we are interviewing Carl Bates, who is the National Party's candidate for the upcoming election. Thank you, Carl, for coming in today.
My pleasure.
Can you tell us about yourself and your family and some of your passions?
So I was born here in Wanganui. I went to Moston and Rutherford and Wanganui High School, and then I went away and became a chartered accountant and built a business overseas. Spent quite a bit of time in Africa. I love going out on safari in Africa. We spent a lot of time, as I say, over there. And I married a South African. Candice and I met on Tinder, so sometimes it does work, and we have two wonderful boys, Angus and Logan.
Very nice. What does a normal day look like for you as a politician?
So I'm not a politician yet, I like to think. On the 14th of October, with the privilege of earning the votes of maybe your parents and teachers and people here in the community, I'll become the Member of Parliament for Wanganui. But right now, while I'm still the candidate, I get up about 5:30 in the morning. I've always got up early in business and the like. Get ready for the day, get out and wave some signs around, go and see some businesses or some organisations and community-based organisations. Might have a coffee with someone who's wanting to understand something from me, or I want to learn something from them. In the afternoon, I always spend a few hours door knocking, because I think it's really important that the Member of Parliament is seen as someone who's prepared to do the work and get around. And then in the evenings, I'm going to functions, or like last night, we had our campaign meeting, and that's where we're getting ready for the next week and working out what our focus is and where I'm going to be.
What party do you represent, and can you explain to our viewers what your party stands for?
So I'm a member of the New Zealand National Party. I've been a member of the National Party for 27 years. And the National Party is all about a series of values. I'll share a couple of them with you. One's limited government. And limited government means that here in Wanganui, we believe that we should be able to make as many of the decisions as possible that affect us, as opposed to them all being made in Auckland or Wellington or somewhere else. And we've got a government at the moment that believes that everything should be taken away from us and we shouldn't get to make those decisions locally. We believe in reward for achievement. That means that the more you do, the more you should keep. If you work hard and you get out and sacrifice things in order to build a business or get a good job or create something and sell it, that you should get the reward for that. We believe in strong families and caring communities. That means we believe that families are important and that the communities around them are important. But from time to time, people need to be supported. And when that's the case, we believe the government should provide that hand up for people, because it's important that we have communities that care for everyone.
If you got elected, what would you do for Wanganui?
So the role of the Member of Parliament is to be like a facilitator between what we want here in Wanganui and what's going on in Wellington. So some of that's about making sure those views that I'm hearing on the doorstep from people are being communicated to Wellington, to the government, should we have the privilege of being the government and we have ministers in the cabinet, to make sure those ministers hear the views that are important to people here in Wanganui. And other times it's about sorting out issues or projects that are critical to our community. Like, for example, you might have seen as journalists in the River City Press last week, there was an article about the Dublin Street Bridge, where I've been able to get the replacement of the Dublin Street Bridge onto the...
If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be and why?
I would try and change how intolerant that we've got of each other. You know, it seems as though we can no longer have different views, have a good debate, but still at the end of it be friends. And I think that's really sad. You know, when I was in the Young Nats years ago, we used to be able to have really good debates about things. I was very involved in the United Nations Youth Association here in New Zealand as well. You know, we had some really good debates about things. We could disagree with each other, but at the end of it, still go out and have a good time with one another. And for some reason, in the last few years, the world's got so intolerant of different views, and I'd like to see that change. And hopefully, the way I approach things, if I'm the Member of Parliament, will create an environment where people feel like they can come and share their views, tell me what they think, tell me that they disagree with me, but at the end of the day, that we can still walk out and shake each other's hands.
If you could have dinner with one famous person, who would it be and why?
There's lots of famous people that I'd love to have dinner with and learn from, because I think that you learn about leadership by engaging and learning from other leaders. So I think one famous person I'd love to have dinner with and a chat with, given that I was watching the selection of the All Blacks last night, would be Richie McCaw, because clearly he understands how to win. Clearly he is a great leader and shows leadership and compassion and engagement, but at the same time knows what it takes to be disciplined and work hard to get a result. So I've never met him. I've watched him play rugby live a lot, but I'd love to sit down and have a dinner and learn from him how he was so successful as a top rugby player for the All Blacks.
Do you have any advice for any students who would like to get into politics?
Read a lot about lots of different views. Have a look at the different parties and see what they're saying, and don't just automatically say no, I disagree with you. Try and understand where they're coming from, because even if you do disagree with them and you believe that National should be the government in New Zealand and join the Young Nationals like I did, it'll help you understand their perspective, and it'll help you argue and find how your policies are able to solve the problems in a better way than theirs are. Get involved, and you can change your mind, right? Who you get involved with, like I got involved with the Young Nats, I was involved in the National Party for 27 years, or have been involved for 27 years. Doesn't matter which party you get involved with to some degree, get involved and learn how to campaign and learn what it means to knock on a door and have a conversation with someone. And then if you choose ultimately to change and get involved in a different party, you'll still have that skill set. That would be the biggest advice that I would give to any of you thinking about politics. And come along and have a chat to me, because that's what I did when I was your guys' age thinking about politics, is I chatted to the local politicians, the local members of parliament as well. So if you want to really learn about politics, come and give me a hand on the campaign and help turn Wanganui blue.
Thank you very much for your time in answering our questions.
This is Royal Blues News Fast News. My name is Vera and this is Iris, your two reporters for today.
That's right, Vera. And there's a lot going on in STG. Am I right?
Oh yes, we are 2 weeks away from cross country and I wish I was a good runner.
Cross country is where the school needs to run around the golf course. The year 8 needs to run 3.5 kilometers. The year 7 needs to do 2.5 kilometers. Year 6 and year 5 are running 1.5 kilometers. Year 4 and 3 are running 1.2 kilometers, and the 1 and 2 are running 680 meters.
We also have the TT Rockstar School competition from the 21st of August to the 23rd of August, and you can do it up to 1 hour. You can play any game on TT Rockstars. I would like to encourage everyone to do it, so let's win this, St. George's.
School Mathematics is on the next Wednesday. Everyone will play in teams arranged by Mrs. Watson, and first place will get 10 house points each. Seconds get 9, thirds get 8, and so on.
Chess tournament is also coming up. The senior is on the 21st of August in West, where 33 students are going, and the junior one is on the 22nd of August in Churton, where 26 students are going, both with Mr. Smith.
As we are getting in the middle of term 3, don't forget to enter the house art sketch competition. The deadline is coming up soon, and the winner gets house points. To enter, you need to ask Mrs. Anderson for the sheets, and you need to draw 15 sketches based on the criteria. Well, that's all.
You can say.
Well, that's for today. Fast News.